You can hit the ship harpoons with a sword or shoot them to retract them. Auto move is amazing for swimming long distances, so make sure that you have it hotkeyed. Just like all the other items in Sea of Thieves, kegs float. Depending on the situation, consider kegging a ship by diving down and letting go of the keg so that it floats up and hits the enemy ship. Leaving food on your stove will cause it to burn and eventually catch fire to your ship. Even if you don't like PvP, learning about it, practicing it, and honing your skills will make your time in the seas a lot easier. As you improve, you'll be able to defend your treasure better and send those pesky pirates to the bottom of the ocean. Twice a day for 1 hour, you can receive 1.5 times more rewards for sold treasure. This is called Gold Rush. I'll leave a link in the description for the wiki page so that you can figure out the Gold Rush times in your time zone. Tridents do more damage to PvE enemies, making them extremely strong against all enemies and even bosses. If the fort or event that you're doing is being contested, watch out for mermaids. If a mermaid shows up, that means there's another player nearby. Stacking loot is fun, but the more you stack, the more you risk losing at any point. I recommend selling often to prevent losing all of that potential gold and rep that you worked hard for. If you spam block with your sword and ring the mass bell as fast as you can, you'll get kicked from the game. Imagine your wheel is broken and your boat is stuck turning. You want to repair your wheel, but you don't have time. In this case, you can actually control the turning of your boat with your sail. If your sails are down, you'll turn much wider, and if you put them all the way up, you'll turn much sharper. Because of how it affects your speed, it'll affect your turning radius. Always destroy mermaid statues. There are a ton of commendations for them, and they will drop 1 to 3 gems of their respective color. These can also be fantastic for leveling up your rep for any trading company. Storms suck. I recommend staying outside of them as much as possible, but sailing through them can be a great way to discourage someone from chasing you. Finding certain types of bait for fishing is very easy. If you dig in the grass, you'll get earthworms. If you dig in the sand, you'll get grubs. And if you dig near the water, you'll find leeches. Having a cannon rowboat on your sloop will effectively give your sloop the firepower of a brig. If you ever need to get back to your ship and you can't find your mermaid, blunderbombing yourself and waiting to respawn will probably be faster than searching around and swimming out into the ocean to make one spawn. You can refill your inventory by spamming F at storage crates. It'll refill your inventory with anything you're missing that the storage crate or barrel can provide you. Don't underestimate players that aren't wearing fancy cosmetics. On the flip side of that, don't overestimate players with good cosmetics. One chain shot will break a mast on a galleon or brig, but taking down a mast on a sloop will take 2. Respawning will take longer depending on your boat and crew size. A solo slooper will respawn slightly faster than a duo sloop, and brigs and galleons will take even longer. Sea forts are extremely good for gold, rep, kegs, and supplies. In PvP, if the enemy won't stop trying to cannon you from their ship, try sniping them. If you hit them, they'll have to back off to heal. This is something I do every time I spawn in on a ship to prepare for the day of sailing, and I honestly think it's a really good thing to do. Make sure to grab a storage crate and pick up the stuff from the nearby barrels on the outpost. You can get a ton of food, boards, cannonballs, and so much more from doing this, and you'll be so much more prepared for your journey. There's not a whole lot of places to run around on a sloop during PvP, but there are a few ways that you can jump onto the ladder from the back of your boat to confuse the enemy. You can grab it through the window to get back to the top of the ship, or you can grab it from the very back, as you can see in the video. If you head over next to the tavern keeper, you can turn on this little music box with a happy little skeleton and listen to some music. If you hold block with your sword before dashing and hold forward, it'll allow you to jump during your lunge, and you'll be able to dash so much further than normal, especially if you dash into the water. When you're boarding a ship against ladder guarders, try to fake out their shot. If they miss their blunder, you basically get a free board. Also, if they aren't willing to fire, try dropping off the ladder, blunder them to knock them back or try to kill them, and then catch the ladder again and climb up. If you're at an island in Devil's Roar and you anchor your ship, the earthquakes from the volcanoes won't move your boat away from where it was parked. Don't break your legs when you jump down from the crow's nest. Make sure to grab the ladder right as you're about to reach the bottom to break your fall. This will allow you to get down much faster than just sliding down the ladder, but also without taking any damage.